So we have the Golan Heights right there, and to the right we have Lebanon, the south of Lebanon, Nabatea, etc. And the Golan Heights are over there, only 50 miles away.
Zindabad!
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Imran Khan Zindabad. These are the areas full of terrorists, full of ISIS. Look at the state of the buildings. Look at these buildings. Look at the battles that took place here to get rid of the international terrorist organization called ISIS. Look at the destruction there. Look at the state of those buildings. Look left and right, it's just absolute destruction. It is only buildings in certain areas which have been protected, and now we're seeing this. Look at this. It's like you're in a movie scene, like there's some sort of doomsday apocalypse has taken place. Absolute destruction. Miles and miles and miles of pure destruction, pure devastation. Everyone here has been killed or they've left, and these places are totally empty. Once upon a time these were homes, businesses, people were living here, family, children, but now it's an apocalyptic movie scene. But this is real life. This is Syria, and this is what happened here over the last 10 years. In order to flush out the terrorists, they had to totally destroy all of this. Look at it. How long do you think it will take to rebuild this? It's totally flattened. Just arrived in an area of Damascus, to the east of Damascus, just outside, to where a great companion of the Prophet, Hujr bin Adi, is resting. He was a companion of the Prophet and then a staunch follower of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And due to his staunch following of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, he was sentenced. He was sent by Ibn Ziyad to the court of Muawiyah I, and there he was sentenced to death, and he was killed in a very gruesome way, and he died very staunch on the ideals and the principles that he found within the great leadership and personality of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And he was very much a outspoken critic of the status quo, of the regime, an authoritarian regime, and their treatment and cursing of Ali ibn Abi Talib and his family. And this is that place. This whole area, as you saw the videos around me, are full of gunshot and destroyed buildings, and this is due to the fact that it was under ISIS, and it has been freed, but it's been a very difficult journey, because ISIS was very well equipped and well funded, and somehow became very organized and took over large portions of land spanning Iraq and Syria, and they have been taken out from here, destroyed and killed, and now people can visit, but along the way you could see the destruction and you could see the pillage that's taken place. So we're going to go in and have a look. Hujr bin Udayy الكندي.
ये जिंदगी है। ज़ाहिरीन आज इस कब्र से एक नई जिंदगी, नया ईमान ले।
Is the resting place of Hujr bin Udayy, a great companion of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And in Kufa he was very much against the policies of Muawiyah, and the governor at the time, they did not really react to him. And then when another governor was installed, he tended to be much more severe, and he sentenced him to death. He sent him to Muawiyah, who sentenced him and 7 others to death. And sentencing them to death was something they took on happily, because they were very principled individuals, and they never let go of the love they had for their master.
اصل وجود است، علی روی سجود است، علی معدن جود است، علی آب خلود است. به کوری دو چشم دشمنانش فقط حیدر امیر المؤمنین علی بنت الله مهدا، علی سورة السجدة، علي الود اللي وده، علي الضد اللي ضده، علي الجوهر، علي الدر، علي الواضح، علي السر، علي النافع، علي الضر، عسى البس بالحرب ضر، أنادي كلما جاء الغدير أميري حيدر النعمة.
So around here there's been a lot of battles. Just behind me there's buildings which are just ruined, gunshots in every wall, every door, every building just collapsed. It's just, on the way here you could, wherever you looked and wherever you cast your glance, you could see destruction, pure destruction. And to right these evil people must have been an achievement by a few people, an ill-equipped army. To right all these evil people must have been a massive, massive achievement. See, the poverty is very, very high here. I've got all these little kids who should be with, you know, enjoying life, doing things, having hope. And instead they're wandering about asking for money. Little children, very, very small children, everywhere you go. And they've lost fathers, they've lost mothers, they've lost uncles, aunts. They're all orphaned. Some don't have any extended family, and so many of these places are just desolate, isolated. People have gone, left, and just got these little kids. Look at them. Hello.
Yes.
So
iPhone.
Yes, iPhone. You like iPhone? Inshallah. As you can see, there's us lot with all our amenities, all our things which we have from the Western world, and we take them for advantage. And we never ever focus. Is the face of war. This is the face of people who have suffered. Young, small children suffering. And they can still smile. They could still wave to the camera. This is the state. Kids have to beg to this extent. Building work which had stopped due to the war. Look at the mosque and look at the 5-star hotel, a nice resort on the side of the mountains. Going up towards the grave of Hābīl alayhi salam, and it's heading towards near the Lebanon border and towards the north of Syria. and the landscape is very beautiful, very green. The mountains, the air, it's very clean, and yeah, we're gonna go up there and you can feel the altitude now, and the landscape is very beautiful around here, full of olive trees, fig trees, and plenty of traditional stone. You see in the Levant, in the Fertile Crescent, it's very rocky, very dramatic here. Look at the scenery, beautiful. The high mountains where indeed many prophets have passed. This is the land of prophets as well, Sham and Palestine. And look at the scenery, absolutely beautiful. Good for the soul after you see all the damage and destruction in the cities. Coming up here in the mountains, it's a little less traumatic. So we're on the mountain of Nabi Hābīl, and it's a very strategic location. We're heading towards the place where the son of the first prophet, the first man, Adam, is buried. And this is known as the Jabal Nabi Hābīl. On Jabal of Hābīl, of Nabi Hābīl, and there we are with the brother saying Imran Khan Zindabad, and we pray for our leader Imran Khan. Thank you. Shukran. There we are. Lovely people here. Come from there, and now we're at the Darih Nabi Allah Hābīl alayhi salam, the tomb of Hābīl, the son of Adam, also known as Abel and Cain, according to the biblical narrative. I'm just going to go in and have a look. This is the grave of Hābīl. It's quite a big grave, and it's a very nicely done Ottoman style dome, very beautiful. The writing around with the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we know the story of how jealousy can lead to such a thing. These were sons of the Prophet Adam, and Hābīl had been given the merit and was more worthy of his father's station. And of course the station is granted by God. Prophethood is not granted by human beings, just as God chooses whom he wants to be worthy of the station of his special emissaries. And Hābīl was chosen by God, but his brother Qābīl did not find that worthy, and he ended up killing him. And this is the same story which is found within regarding the prophet Joseph, Yaqub alayhi salam, and his sons, Yusuf, who was favored, and his brothers were jealous of him, and they led him to do what they did, as the Quran mentions. And the story of Adam is very interesting, how Adam was created from water and clay, and how in the court of God, God said, I am going to make a vicegerent, a Khalifa on earth. And the angels protested and said that you will create somebody who will shed blood, who will cause sedition and strife in the world and fitna. We are here to do your tasbih and taqdees and tahmeed and to praise you, but God says, I know something which you do not know. And that is what makes human beings unique, and especially Adam unique as his creation, because it was knowledge. Knowledge differentiates people, knowledge gives people value. But there's a lesson here that when the shaitan, Iblis, did not prostrate, why did he not prostrate? There are many humans that do not prostrate, but do they become shaitan? It was the first instance of arrogance, and that is another thing. Jealousy caused a brother to kill another brother, and arrogance led to shaitan becoming a renegade and driven out of the court of God, the regime. And then God gave him respite to test and trial human beings, and that's where I think the unique story of Adam comes from, where this whole story of humanity begins with Adam coming down from heaven with our mother Hawa, and the story of humanity takes shape. And Christianity sees that as the original sin, when he ate of the tree which he was not supposed to. And that's an interesting concept, but we do not adhere to that. We're going to go in here, and over here we have a tree which is 500 years old, and it is planted at the same place where a crow sat and told Cain, or Abel, informed him about Hujr. So here is this tree. It's 500 years old, this tree, and it has been planted upon a tree which used to be here from the time of Hābīl and Qābīl, the time of Adam alayhi salam. We're going to just take in the view from here. Now look at the view. The sound of adhan going. Beautiful mountains. This is the land of prophets also. We say Palestine is the land of prophets. This here, prophets have passed from here, lived here. All that you hear in the Bible, in the Torah, in the Quran about prophets and their stories, they all took place in this particular land. Not in Australia, not in America, but all here. Come from over there, which is known as Wadi Barada. Over there we have Jabal Zabadani, the Mount of Zabadani on that side, and behind us where we've come from through this door is towards Lebanon. Jawlan. And through here over on this side we have the Golan Heights. الجولان بعيد من هنا؟
يعني تقريبا 90 كيلومتر.
90 فقط.
لك شوف هذا جبل.
يس.
شوف هذا جبل جي ايسا.
نعم.
هذا الجولان هذا.
Jazam. So there, that is Jawlan. That is the Golan Heights. It's only about 60 miles away from here. قريب. Interesting place. Very interesting. You have the Golan Heights over there. It's very quiet. There's hardly any zawar, any visitors apart from myself. story goes that it was based on crops, and whose crops were better and whose were accepted in the court of God, and it turned out to be Hābīl. And this is, it's found in the Bible. It is a biblical story, and many philosophers, mystics, theologians have surmised about the meaning, significance and symbolism of the story of Adam and Eve, the heavenly abode they were in, the descent from heaven, the story of Shaitan and his tragedy in a way, according to some Sufis and some mystics, and then the story of the two brothers, highlighting the frailty of the human condition, the weakness of man, and the propensity to commit evil and bad deeds, but at the same time to become angelic. And another lesson we learn from the story of Hābīl and Qābīl and the story of their father Adam is to think of yourself to be lower than others. As the Quran says about Shaitan, that he is of the Illiyin, that you thought you were of the high people, the Illiyin, and that is why you were arrogant. But to become worthy in the sight of God, it is necessary to lower your ego, to break your I, and to think yourself to be lower than others, and that there is beyond every فَوْقَ كُلِّ ذِي عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٍ, above every knowledgeable person there is God. And as the poet or the saying goes, الْكِبْرِيَاءُ رِدَائِي وَمَنْ نَازَعْنِي فِي كِبْرِيَائِي أَدْخَلَهُ فِي النَّارِ وَلَا أُبَالِي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the kibriyai, the kibr, the grandness is only for me, and whoever challenges me in that will find himself in the pits of hell. So we have the Golan Heights just there. I'm going to zoom in to the mountain there. We have the Golan Heights just there. That's where the Golan Heights are. So we just finished here at the grave of Hābīl. They mention he's a prophet now, but previously there was no mention of him being a Nabi Allah on this plaque. But we're done from here, and I'm going to move on to my next location. I've done my shopping here at Nabi Hābīl. There's plenty to do and plenty to buy. And now I'm going to head off to the next location. I might be heading off to a place where it's known as Arba'een Musalla, where 40 prophets have prayed. Or I might go to Ashabul Kahf. I'm not sure yet. I'm just going to head to the vehicle now and see where it takes me next. So we have the Golan Heights right there, and to the right we have Lebanon, the south of Lebanon, Nabatea, etc. And the Golan Heights are over there, only 50 miles away. Scenery in the north of Syria, along the borders with Lebanon and Israel or Palestine. Dramatic skies and a dramatic sunlight over the mountains.